Popcorn, popcorn, popcorn,
At R.M.L. Oh, that was
Go ahead.
nice. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Yeah, I heard it.
It's like a ghost image.
Yeah.
Here we are tonight with my my normal co-host, Mark. Mark, the man in the purple shirt.
Yes.
And we have Mike with us as well. Mike, who's wearing the always fashionable Man Bites Dog Records t-shirt. Welcome to Popcorn. This is our first episode tonight, and it's a new show. It's going to be about movies and such, stuff we've seen this week, stuff that's coming up, classic 80s movies. So check it out. The format is going to kind of always be the same, but we're not super strict over here. We're liberals. So let's start it out tonight with a movie that I saw recently and everybody else saw. It's out for rent right now. It's called Cloud Atlas. So let's go ahead and you got the trailer?
This is the Cloud Atlas sextet?
I doubt there's more than a handful of copies in all of North America.
But I know it. I know it.
That's it. The music from my dream.
There are whole movements I wrote imagining us meeting again and again in different lives, in different ages.
I can't explain it, but I knew when I opened that door.
A powerful deja vu ran through my bones. I heard it in a dream. I was in a nightmarish cafe, and the waitresses, they all had the same face.
No reason to hide. I know you are Sonmi 451.
Yesterday, my life was headed in one direction. Today, it is headed in another. You ever think the universe is against you? Fear, belief, love, phenomena that determine the course of our lives. These forces begin long before we are born and continue after we perish.
Our lives are not our own. We are bound to others, past and present. And by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future.
I won't let you go again. I believe there is another world waiting for us, a better world. And I'll be waiting for you there.
All right.
All right, fantastic. It was a pretty awesome trailer, I would have to say myself.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think of that? You like that trailer?
I did like the trailer. I like the movie.
Yeah, I liked the movie too. What did you think, Mike?
The whole concept was dope, man, to me. You know what I mean? It was just all the stories intertwined and were connected and just influence each other, as far as their lives and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Let's start off. It's based on a novel by David Mitchell that was written, I think, in around 2004, 2005. Project was adopted by the Wachowskis, who got famous for doing the Matrix films. Before that, they'd actually had written the movie Assassins with Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone. They had written that together while they were working a construction job. Based on that script, they were able to work with Joel Silver, who was the producer of Assassins, and they were able to do an indie film called Bound. I don't know if you ever saw that. It was Jennifer Tilly. Excellent lesbian scene in that film. I think it's Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly maybe together. Really good. Joe Pantanelli, Joey Pants from the Sopranos film was also in the movie, I believe. Then they got the deal for The Matrix. So after The Matrix, I think they made Speed Racer. They directed, I think.
Very, very good movie. Very colorful.
And then they had produced V for Vendetta. Did not actually direct it. I think their first unit AD directed that film.
Did the Wachowski family, did they direct it or produce it?
They produced V for Vendetta.
Oh, okay.
But they did not direct it. It was the Wachowski brothers originally.
Okay.
Now, one of the Wachowskis ended up having a second change.
Gender change.
I think that's the more PC word for it.
Change.
So a gender change, and that's now Lana Wachowski.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really matter as long as the movies are good, and this movie was good.
I agree.
It was really good. It was like a very solid piece of filmmaking. My only complaint would have been, I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
I think it should have been a Netflix deal, original content. There's basically 6 stories going on, I think. Given each story 1 hour to unfold, I think would have been really interesting 1 hour episodes, because you could have just immersed yourself in it anyway. But the film was directed by the Wachowskis, and then Tom Twyker, who directed Run Lola Run, a German director. And it was interesting because actors were working in certain periods. The film does take a place through tons of periods of time, starting back in the slave trading days and then going all the way into the extreme distant future. The film really deals a lot with karma and also ripple theory, butterfly effect, where something that might happen at one point will then affect the future greatly. Very cool. I thought the acting performance in it were very good. Hugh Grant especially, definitely disappeared into his roles. What did you think, Mark? What did you think of Cloud Atlas?
I definitely like the characters, and I definitely like how they tied, like you said, they tied all the characters kind of like the butterfly effect. With Somni, I like how she was almost like a Jesus almost figure,
Okay,
like almost like
explain that, because for the people who haven't seen the movie, and don't, spoiler alert.
Okay. How do I explain it? When
Somni is a replicant.
She's a replicant who is only made purely for sexual reasons, kind of like a.
Well, I don't think she was made for service reasons.
Service reasons? Was it service reasons? Okay.
Basically, she was a service worker at those little fast food places.
Yeah.
So don't tell them about soap.
Okay.
So don't go too far with it.
Okay.
But yeah, she was a replicant.
Basically, to serve consumers was her
Correct.
job.
Okay.
Yeah. There was basically the workers. It's like a slave race in the distant future, where you have replicants or clones that are used as the slave labor, and then you have the freeborns, which would be the true bloods, or the, and it's an interesting way to comment on apartheid, what the Nazi regime was doing with having free bloods there. So
yeah,
it's an interesting comment on society, and if you can also see it, it harks back to how the film begins with the slave trading. So it kind of comes back to that, whereas the replicant, much like the slaves in the beginning of the film, were born into slavery.
Oh, I did. Oh, there's the connection right there.
Whereas
too.
and they everybody wanted to be freeborn, which is a deep connection there. And if the guy who rescued her was also the same man from the beginning slave trip. So really good cast. Somni was actually played by a new actress. I had not seen her really before. Donna Bay. Not too familiar with her. Tom Hanks really let out the cast. He was the big star along with Halle Berry. Jim Broadbent was amazing. He was in the Harry Potter films. if anybody's seen those. Hugo Weaving, obviously, Matrix, V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Interesting. He does have a cross-dressing role at one point in the movie. But like I said, Hugh Grant, incredible. The cannibal scene?
Yeah, he definitely took on the cannibal role.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen more the Kona chief. So Hugh Grant is the chief of this tribe of people called the Konas that's set very distant in the future. It's an island where, again, it breaks down into the freeborns kind of and the slave race. Tom Hanks is from what would be kind of the slave race that are being dominated by this Kona tribe. The Kona being the stronger aggressors that are also cannibals. And Hugh Grant is definitely unrecognizable as the cannibal chief. Interesting.
Yeah.
That island was supposed to be Hawaii.
That makes sense. I think they mentioned that it was Manukau, right?
Yeah.
That's
what they kept
top.
calling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't seen the film. But
Yeah.
it's definitely very interesting. It's 3 hours long, which is a bit long for the modern moviegoer. Usually people start getting really antsy about 2.5 hours. I think that along with the marketing of the trailer's great, and it really is kind of what the trailer shows. So it's not like it's misleading, but because of the length of the film and how intricate the film is, I don't know if it's the best movie to see in the theater, although I'm sure it was impressive because some of the cinematic scope of it. But I'm not so sure. I think it's better at home.
Yeah. It's like you said, I wish the movie was longer.
Yeah.
But like kind of like a Netflix deal where, each story was fleshed out a little bit more.
And I think that's the showing or the signs of a good movie. Is that you want it to be longer because you want to keep yourself immersed in that world, and kind of like how Avatar was. Avatar was long, and I still feel like, hey, it could have maybe even been a little bit longer. Fleshed out. So I would recommend Cloud Atlas.
Definitely,
If you haven't seen the film yet, I recommend you checking it out. You can rent it at Redbox.
So just buy it.
It's
worth
$1.20.
Add it to your collection if you're a collector. You know what I mean? So
It's definitely interesting. It's the performances itself. Tom Hanks, he plays, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. So he has 6 different characters he plays in the movie. Halle Berry does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So, impressive seeing these people, all the different makeup that went into the film. So I highly recommend it. And I actually liked Cloud Atlas more than the next movie that we're about to discuss.
Yeah.
Which is The Man of Steel. Let's check out that trailer now.
Okay.
This is the Cloud Atlas Sextet.
Goodbye, my son. Our hopes and dreams travel with you.
He'll be an outcast. I'll kill him.
How? He'll be a god to them.
What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended? What if a child aspired to something greater?
My son was in the bus. He saw what Clark did.
You're the answer, son. You're the answer to Are We Alone in the Universe?
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son. And I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
How do you find someone who has spent a lifetime covering his tracks? For some, he was a guardian angel. for others, a ghost who never quite fit in.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
You believe your son is safe? I will find him!
My father believed that if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me. He was convinced that the world wasn't ready. What do you think?
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about
Excuse me.
All right.
All right, Man of Steel, Man of Steel. Okay, so Mike has not seen this movie yet. Lame.
So let's go into. Let's not spoil anything, Ryan.
Okay, let's not spoil anything, but let's still talk about what we liked and what we didn't like.
Sounds good.
Let's start off with the positives. Okay,
Okay.
Well, a little background information first. So people who've been under a rock or living in a closet or in a cave, if you don't know, Man of Steel is the DC comic franchise person. Besides Batman, it's their real franchise superheroes.
Mhm.
Their first big superhero came from Action Comics and then led in, and it's DC Comics' big flagship. It's been, a TV show in the past. It's been a cartoon. The original Superman. Who's the original Superman? Tell me. Come on.
What's his name?
Come on.
He was
That was fucked up. Sorry. Come on, that didn't even help you? Eminem's favorite guy to rap about.
Who is
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeves. It was on the tip of the tongue.
Okay.
It was on the tip of the tongue.
Rest in peace to Mr. Christopher Reeve.
He's still alive, isn't he?
No, he passed away a couple of years ago, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Way to stay on top of that.
Rest in peace.
So they tried to start it over. They had the one guy who came from, he's kind of disappeared. He hasn't really done too much else besides the reboot. They had Bryan Singer, who directed X-Men 1, try to reboot it a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
They had Kevin Spacey trying to be Lex. Gene Hackman was the original Lex Luthor. Fantastic job by Gene.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the new version, written by David S. Goyer, who also did the Dark Knight films,
Mhm.
who wrote those. Produced by what's his name? The director of the Dark Knight films, Christopher
Nolan.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan, who did Insomnia and Memento, and it's directed by Zack Snyder, who did 300, Watchmen, and Sucker Punch.
Yes.
Sucker Punch. I still haven't seen Sucker Punch.
I'll let you borrow it. It's good.
I have it.
You have it? Is it still in the wrapping?
It is still in the wrapping.
I have a few movies like that too.
I got it. It was like one of those, great purchases out of the bin. I just have. Did you like it?
I got it Black Friday shopping.
See.
It was in the bin.
Did you like it?
I love it.
Okay, we'll have to review that sometime.
Okay.
So Zack Snyder, yeah, okay. The things I liked about it, the suits. I really liked the suits.
You like General Zod's suits?
I thought that the father's suit. What's his father's name? Jor-El.
Yeah.
Jor-El's suit was awesome.
It was kind of like bone. It looked like it was made out of bone.
Almost like a biomechanic.
Almost
armor.
like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool design. General Zod's costume, awesome.
Mm.
I do like the new Superman. The costume is cool. It gets away from the pajamas look, how Christopher Reeve was. Because I went back and I was watching the original after I watched this, and I was not really digging the old PJs,
No.
even though I had those as a kid. But This looks much cooler. It's much sleeker.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the first 15 minutes where they're on Krypton. It's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. After that, though, it's just those. I mean, I like his name is Henry Cavill.
Cavell or something like that. Yeah, I think
British actor.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen him in a whole lot. I know he was in that one movie about the gods with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he was in Immortals.
Yeah, Immortals.
Yeah.
That movie was kind of
also directed by.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
the guy who did The Cell?
No, it was directed by Zack Snyder too.
No,
wasn't?
Was not. I'll bet you on that one. Directed by Tarzan Singh, I think is his name. He directed the Cell. So it's an artistic movie, but not really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to that. I thought that the actor Henry did a great job as Superman. He looked like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that where my problem... And Michael Shannon was awesome as General Zod. I thought he gave a great performance. I thought Russell Crowe was really good. I thought Diane Lane was really good. I thought Kevin Costner was really good. I don't think the problem is with the acting. You know, Amy Adams is okay. I wasn't crazy about her as Lois Lane, but it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem was just the timing.
Mm-hmm.
Just not enough. I mean, you fell asleep in it.
Well, all the actions at the end,
and
the pacing all the way up to it is just so
slow, and it seems like
slow.
no one's inhabiting this world either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you're going to see some scenes with the army and the military in them. It's like 5 army guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we were getting attacked by General Zod and a whole bunch of these people from Krypton, I would think we would bring out more than just 5 National Guardsmen.
Yeah.
You know, I think we would really rally the troops and we'd have some heavy machinery.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like the world is vacant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see it as like a world that's, because if all of a sudden we had a superhero come out, it would shake our moral fiber.
Yeah, I agree.
If all of a sudden tomorrow guys flying around,
mm-hmm.
it's going to shake everything. And the film kind of tries to touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kevin Costner is his Earth father. Warned several times that people aren't ready to know his son's true abilities because it would make us question everything.
Mm-hmm.
It could question the whole idea of religion itself. But even though it touches on these ideas, I think it just does it in kind of a slow fashion.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about it?
I liked it.
Okay.
I went in expecting not a whole lot because normally with all these superhero movies, I'm kind of let down. So, I mean, I went in there. It was a pretty good movie, like good action, good summer action
Okay,
flick.
was it? I did not see Iron Man 3 yet.
Okay.
You did. Iron Man 3 or Man of Steel? Which one?
I would say Iron Man 3.
You enjoyed more. Okay.
Because I'm kind of a suit guy. I like there's iron. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there are a lot of suits.
Now, what about this? I was not a big fan of Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
movie. Are you a fan of that movie?
I actually liked it.
So
because
Mark likes everything.
I like everything. Note to everyone.
Note to politically old Switzerland over here.
I liked it because it was more of the human element of Batman. And I think that's what Christopher Nolan wanted to get at.
So instead of calling it Batman, why don't we call it Bruce Wayne?
Bruce Wayne Rises?
Yeah, because Batman's hardly in the movie.
That's true. He's 15 minutes or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
where he's in the suit. He's like, no time, man. I go to Batman movies to see Batman in a suit.
Yeah.
I love the other 2 Dark Knight films.
Yeah.
Even though in the first Batman Begins, he's not in the suit as much, but I appreciate the fact that he's training to become Batman.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't really care about the whole prison thing, and I want to see, I don't know. Dark Knight was, I think, great. One of the best comic book translations ever.
I agree.
But not Dark Knight Rises. So Dark Knight Rises or Man of Steel, which one?
Probably I enjoyed Dark Knight Rises a lot more. There was a lot more. Well, it was the third one in the trilogy, and it was all building up to that one. Maybe, if I were to compare the
Daredevil with Ben Affleck or Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, of course.
Okay.
Daredevil was not that good.
Elektra
Sorry.
with Jennifer Garner.
Was that the spin-off for Daredevil?
That was the spin-off.
I have never seen it, and I don't have any
not that
desire.
bad. It's not that bad.
What about Catwoman versus Elektra?
No, I'll go Elektra all day.
Really? Okay.
All day.
All right.
All day. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. We're going to have a debate soon because the Wolverine film's coming out.
Yeah.
So we are going to go over the X-Men franchise movies.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the duds.
Okay.
Like the Wolverine origin picture. I wasn't crazy about that.
The Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds.
Wow. I love the samurai fight on the nuclear ring, the tower.
Yeah,
or
that was
the stack.
That part and the Gambit part was probably the most when they introduced Gambit. You didn't really like Gambit in that?
I do not care for Gambit, my friend.
Really?
And I was being sarcastic about the scene on the top of the nuke stack.
Oh.
That was the worst. I did not a fan of that one.
Oh.
Not a fan of that film. I was super let down by it. With that being said, another movie that I thought was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't go into it expecting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things my girlfriend wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm trying to make her happy in the process. She's forced to watch all these other movies I want to see.
That's true, yeah.
So, it's The Great and Wonderful Oz. Did I say that title right?
Yeah, I think so.
The Great and Wonderful Oz. So,
yeah.
Mr. Important got a phone call.
I got a little text message
to a trailer.
All right, here we go.
Kansas is full of good men. I don't want to be a good man. I want to be a great one. You're gonna need this! I don't want to die! I haven't accomplished anything yet! Please! Am I dreaming?
You're in Oz. I'm Theodora the Good Witch.
Where's your broom?
You don't know much about witches, do you? It's the Emerald City.
You are here at last, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
This is my sister, Evanora. I'm here to serve you.
The royal treasure of Oz. It belongs to you, but only after you defeat the Wicked Witch.
Just how wicked is she?
Towns were destroyed. Children were orphaned. Great wizard from Kansas. I've waited for you to come and set things right.
Me?
Did those crows just say we're gonna die?
Your magic is the only thing strong enough to save us all.
Please tell me you gentlemen can fight.
No. But we sing.
Guys, take 5. I might not actually be a wizard.
Yes, but they don't know that. You're capable of more than you know.
Are you the great man we've been waiting for?
I think I could be.
All right.
I'll get you. So the original, I was forced to watch it in almost the end of school year. When teachers wanted to burn time, they'd put on The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
I hate musicals.
I also hate musicals, unless it's I don't know. Yeah, I hate musicals.
Mike, you love them?
It's his favorite pastime.
No, he does not like them. So I do, however, because I do have a girlfriend, own Wizard of Oz. And she does like to watch it. So when this came out, I was kind of happy to find out that it was not a musical.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. The second thing, now if you watch the trailer, it says, from the director of the Spider-Man trilogy. Fuck that. It should say from the director of the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah, Sam Raimi.
But of course, that's not going to be nice for all the soccer moms. So.
No.
Sam Raimi, the director, was a horror genius by making the Evil Dead 1 and 2. Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness, although it's cool, it's a lot funnier and campier than the first Evil Dead and the second Evil Dead.
Oh my God, the first Evil Dead.
The second one is really my favorite when he chainsaws his hand off, man.
Yeah.
And he gets the chainsaw arm.
Yeah, the second
I
one's
like
best.
it because he's like, you know what, man? I'm not fucking rolling over.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight this evil.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that in horror movies when people are like, fuck it, I'm tired of running.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know?
Yeah.
And I love at the end of it when he goes to the time warp and he lands in the medieval times. It was sick. They just waited too long in between the two movies to get that third one done.
Well, the first one came out in the 70s, right?
No, it was early 80s, shot
Early
in
80s?
Michigan.
Okay.
It's funny, too, because when I was a kid, I would go over to my friend's house in his basement. They had this huge Evil Dead, like movie-sized, the cardboard cutout things. And I didn't understand. And, as time went on, I started finding out about horror movies. And we asked his dad, why do you have this Evil Dead? And he had told us that he was friends with Sam Raimi.
Oh, wow.
They were friends. So that's how I first found out about the Evil Dead movies, is because of this poster that was in the basement. And so when we found out about that, of course, we went and rented the Evil Dead movies. And I asked this guy recently, not too long ago, if his dad still kept in contact with Sam Raimi, but he said he didn't. Now, I wasn't crazy about the Spider-Man films. I actually liked the third one.
The third one with Venom?
Yeah. And most people didn't like that one. I did.
I think they didn't flesh out Venom correctly, and Topher Grace wasn't probably the best Venom.
It was Brock. Yeah, it probably could have been better.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this. And the name of the movie is Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay.
It starts in black and white. Cinematography's cool.
I love it. It starts out like standard definition 480.
Yep.
And then it slowly goes out to the widescreen HD.
Yeah. I thought it was cool. You saw this in the theater.
I did.
Okay, I saw it at home.
Not
Still pretty
3D.
good.
I didn't see it 3D.
Yeah, I didn't see it 3D either.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I don't know if it was actually made in 3D or if it was like the transfer.
Yeah.
So I'm not big on the transfer.
Yeah.
Because it gives me a headache when I see it in the theater. Kind of cool that you get to see what turned the Wicked Witch into the Wicked Witch. I guess that was kind of cool. If you like the first Wizard of Oz, then chances are you're going to like this one too. Okay? If you didn't really like the first Wizard of Oz, then it's not going to change anything for you. There is no singing, but, it's not bad by any means.
It's comical. It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun family film, I guess,
Yeah.
if you're looking for something like that.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to say to you, Wizard of Oz or Oz the Great and Powerful, which one would you say?
I actually like the Great and Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay, so you would go with that.
Yeah.
Now, what if I was to say to you, Oz the Great and Powerful, being a family film, or classic 1980s film with Tom Hanks, Big?
Oh, definitely Big.
You haven't seen this other one, but you have seen Big, right?
I have seen Big, yes.
Okay.
Big's a classic, man.
Big is a classic.
You can't really compare.
Yeah. In fact, let's go ahead, and it's our classic of the week, so let's go ahead and run the trailer for those people who've been under a rock. This is Big with Tom Hanks.
For Josh Baskin, life was a little unfair.
Told you to take out the garbage. You're gonna miss the bus. I'm gonna tell you again, Josh. Joshua Baskin. Josh.
Until he made a little wish.
I wish I were big.
Sweetheart, it's 7:30. Are you up? Josh.
20th Century Fox presents Tom Hanks. Big.
I turned into a grown-up, Mom. I made this wish on a machine, and it turned me into a grown-up.
So now what?
You get a job.
Cannot get a job.
I play with all of this stuff, and then I tell them what I think.
And they pay you for that?
Sucker!
Vice President, he's only been here a week.
See that girl over there in the red? She'll wrap her legs around you so tight you'll be begging for mercy.
Well, I'll stay away from her then.
I loved your ideas on the squeezy doll line.
Thanks.
What were you like when you were younger?
Oh, well, I wasn't much different.
Eject your seat! Who are you? I'm his girlfriend.
I want to spend the night with you.
Do you mean sleep over?
Yeah.
Okay. But I get to be on top.
What is so special about Baskin?
He's a grown-up.
How do I feel about what?
How do you feel about me?
You're only young once.
This is important!
I'm your best friend. What's more important than that, huh?
But for Josh,
I miss my family, Susan, and I want to go home.
Oh my God, you're married.
it just might last a lifetime. You'll never forget Tom Hanks.
It's Beluga.
In Big.
Good.
All right, I don't want to say a ton on this movie other than it's a classic. It won a bunch of Academy Awards. It was directed by Penny Marshall. It's the real breakout film for Tom Hanks. He had done some movies before that, Splash and a couple other things, but this was the real breakout film for him. I will say that he has an idea that's in the movie. Do you remember the comic book idea? Where you would load it in and you would choose kind of which adventure? Well, that's kind of happened with the iPad. So I just thought that was kind of cool the other day when I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, you know, this is kind of what the iPad has turned into, where it's a very thin thing. You can load different books into it. They haven't really made the choose your own adventure yet that I've seen, but kind of that technology. Awesome movie for classic 80s toys. You have the oversized piano, which everybody, you know, he plays chopsticks on it. Everybody's always wanted it. Have you done that, Mike?
I haven't always wanted to.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
Play chopsticks on a mini piano?
On a huge piano.
No, just a mini piano.
Okay, well, that's lame. All right, super lame. Good job. But, yeah, the toys in the movie were really cool. I think everybody who saw this movie, especially as a kid, they walked away with two things. Number one, be careful of the fortune teller slot machine thing. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I've seen it places.
The carnivals.
Yeah, the little fortune teller carnival quarter deposit slot game, whatever it is. Stay away from that. And the second thing would be having a job in the toy business would rock. A toy tester. They don't have those anymore now.
No.
Because everything's robots.
Or everything's in China.
Yeah. And over there, they probably don't test it.
No.
Okay, so that's big. I recommend if you haven't, everybody's seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. Maybe it's on Netflix?
I think it is. If not, you can buy it on DVD for like $3.
Ridiculously cheap.
$3.
They'll probably throw it at you to get it out of their store.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and talk about some future movies that are coming out. This is something we always do at the end of our show. We're going to be talking about what's coming out. Now, super hyped on the first one we're going to talk about. Well, I was super hyped. I don't know how I am now. The first reviews that are coming in are not good. I am a big fan of the 1980s Lone Ranger.
Okay.
I grew up on it, man. Like, when I was a little kid, if it didn't have guns, I didn't really care. Lone Ranger had silver bullets. I cared a lot. So I really liked the original. In fact, I went back kind of recently and watched it again. Not as good as I remember, but still kind of cool. I was really excited about a year ago when I saw the first trailer for The Lone Ranger with Arnie Hammer and Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp playing Tonto. The reviews on it have just said it's really too long and it's just kind of all over the place and it's a mess. There's a good chance I'll probably still go see it in the theater. Let's go ahead and roll this trailer.
Okay.
Lone Ranger.
God, look at you.
city boy. Why would you ever want to come back here?
It's my home. Little brother, I hereby deputize you a Texas Ranger. It's Dad's.
To the outlaw, make no mistake, law and order has come to the West.
It's a nice hat, by the way. Didn't have a bigger one?
Give me your hand!
From the great beyond, a vision told me the great warrior would help me on my quest. One who has been to the other side and returned.
All I know is that a man killed my brother. If we ride together, we ride for justice.
Justice is what I seek.
Let's do this. We're looking for a man.
It was in about a week ago. Page me with this.
You find traitor. You find the man who killed your brother.
I want to show you something.
What could you buy with all that?
A country, Captain.
Who controls the railroad, the cavalry, everything? If these men represent the law, I'd rather be an outlaw.
That is why you wear the mask.
It was a ranger riding a white horse. Got some lunatic Indian with him. They're coming for you.
Scared, aren't you? You should be.
These two have a hard time staying dead.
All right.
All right, so that is the Lone Ranger, directed by Gore Verbinski, who Johnny Depp and Gore Verbinski were also the team, along with Jerry Bruckheimer as a producer, the team that brought you the Pirates of the Caribbean films. This is also another Disney picture. So Disney, you know, they're pretty smart over there. Got a couple things going on.
Yeah.
They bought Marvel. They bought Star Wars.
Pixar.
Yep. They got Pixar. So they're kind of looking at opening up, and they're figuring this could be another good franchise film. Comes out tomorrow, essentially. We're going to see. It's up against the next movie. Are you going to go see The Lone Ranger?
Yes, I will. Definitely going to go see The Lone Ranger.
In the theater?
In the theaters.
Okay. And if you don't, what's a good punishment?
Kicking the balls.
Wow.
That's
call, bro.
He just went with that. We were going to say something else, but he went with
kicking the pants.
He just wants to go with that. Okay, what about you?
You know what? I'm going to go watch the original first, and then I'm going to go see this one.
Oh, go see that 80s joint. That shit's classic.
Okay.
I don't know. I might. I very well might. I know my girlfriend flat out said no.
She don't want to see it?
No, she does not.
Why?
I don't know. You know, she didn't want to see the Pirates films at first either, but I eventually got her on those, and she loves the Pirates films. So I think it's going to be another situation like that where I have to toe the water.
Okay.
Toe the water. Test it out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go from there.
Yep.
Let's see. The other film that's coming out is Despicable Me 2. Now, I liked Despicable Me 1 because it's Steve Carell. I'm a huge Office fan. Anybody who knows me knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not going to see this in the theater, though. I didn't see the first one in the theater either.
Girlfriend likes the first one because of the little
Minions.
Not even that. The little girl. What's her name? Agnes.
Okay.
Agnes made that whole movie.
Okay, that was the super
It's a
small.
the super small little girl.
So, are you going to go see the second one in the theater?
I will most likely see the second one in the theater.
Okay. Do you own the first one?
I do own the first one.
I do own the first one as well.
Yeah.
On 3D.
I own it in 3D as well. Fiance likes it so much she owns it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the first one, Mike?
I haven't. I mean, am I sleeping on it? Is this something that I should...
It was not bad. It's not bad, you know.
You are sleeping on it, Mike.
I think it was not bad. It's, you know, he plays Steve Carell as this villain, Gru, who's, kind of heartless because he had a hard life growing up as a kid. He gets these 3 adopted kids end up coming into his life, and slowly they change his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes from wanting to conquer the world to just wanting to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little sappy, but it's a family film. I'll watch it for sure. I can 100% promise you when it comes out on video, I'll probably rent it the first day.
Mm-hmm.
At least Redbox it.
Yeah, most stuff.
But as far as going to the theater, spending $15 on it, kind of doubting that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's go ahead and let's show the trailer for Despicable Me 2. In case you guys haven't seen this 1,000 times on TV already.
Good night, Edith. Good night, Margot. Hold the horses. Who are you texting?
My friend Avery.
Avery. Avery. Is it a girl's name or a boy's name?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter unless it's a boy.
I know what makes you a boy.
Who you do?
Your bald head.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes I stare at it and imagine a little chick popping out.
Good night, Agnes. Never get older.
Mr. Gru, Agent Lucy Wilde of the Anti-Villain League. You're gonna have to come with me.
Oh, sorry.
You really should announce your weapons after you fire them. For example, lipstick taser! Get in there!
Now this looks like on top of me, so everybody just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so good.
Anti-Villain League, dedicated to fighting crime on a global scale. A new villain has surfaced. You know how a villain thinks. That's why we brought you here.
Pins and needles.
I am the League's director, Silas Ramsbottom.
Bottom.
Hilarious.
Guess who's back?
Are you really gonna save the world?
That's right, baby. Crew's back in the game with cool cars, gadgets,
How are they working?
and weapons. Oh.
Frappuccino, cappuccino, Al Pacino.
Frappuccino, cappuccino.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
He's in it.
Nice.
Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Al Pacino, huh? Hoo-ah!
Al Pacino.
So this is going to wrap up our show of popcorn this week. As always, I would like to thank my co-host, Mark, in the purple shirt. Who's that shirt made by?
Old Navy.
Old Navy. Get your t-shirts. They're still under $10.
Yeah, they're having a 4th of July sale, actually. So
fantastic. If Old Navy wants to sponsor the show or give us any money, we are accepting.
Yeah.
We are accepting. I'd also like to thank our guest, the man who never stops talking, Mike. Just, next time we're going to have to worry about you not talking so much, man, because
I'll work on it.
You got to work on that. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We're going to go out with that awesome outro music that you heard at the beginning, but we're going to recycle it and use it again right now. So thanks for tuning in and watching us this week, and go watch some movies and enjoy some popcorn.
Popcorn.